So we now have the net income adjusted by the net changes in non-cash items such as depreciation, stock-based compensation, other non-cash expenses net, and the changes in non-cash working capital. So we can take the sum of all of those. We can take the sum of all of those, the net income adjusted by all of those, and we have the net cash provided or used in operating activities. So we have that in place there. So for the investing activity side of things, the purchases of property, plant, and equipment, we can grab that from the raw data tab. So we have the purchases of property, plant, and equipment here. We can copy and paste for the proceeds as well. And then the acquisitions of cash acquired and other. So we can grab the acquisitions net of cash acquired. In this case, we will take the sum of in this case, we'll just reference to the acquisitions net of cash acquired. So we have that here set up there. And then for the sales or purchase of marketable securities, it's gonna be the sum of. You can go to the raw data tab and we sum the sales of marketable securities and the purchase of those securities. So we net that together. So we have that set up that we can take this and fill it to the end of the historic period. So for the net cash provided or used in investing activities, it's gonna be equal to the sum of all of this here. The purchases of property and equipment, the proceeds from those capital expenditures, and then we have the acquisitions net of cash acquired and the sales and purchases of marketable securities, in this case, such as treasury bills. So we can include bankers' acceptance, commercial papers, or treasury bills. In that case, securities that matures within 1 year, we have investments that are in place. So together, we can sum all of those and fill it to the right to the end of the historic period. So for the financing activities, the proceeds and repayments of long-term debt, we will just sum all of those together. So in this case, we are accounting for the proceeds and the repayments of long-term debt. So we net that all of those together, we can fill that right. And then for the principal repayments of finance leases, we could go to, so we have in this case the principal repayments of capital leases, obligations, and the principal repayments of finance leases. So in this case, what we're gonna do is we're gonna sum all of those together. So we will take the sum of the principal repayments of capital leases and we add it to the principal repayments of finance leases. Since they both signify the same thing, so you can also grab here the principal repayments of finance lease obligations. So we have that in place here. You can grab that. And then for the proceeds from issuance of stock or payments of dividends at this time, Amazon doesn't pay any dividends or issue stock, since it's generating a lot of cash flow from its operating activities to finance its operations. So it doesn't have any obligations in issuing of shares. So in this case, it's 0. So we can copy that, and we can fill this right with Control R. So we have that setup in place. So now we can take the sum of the total financing activities, net cash provided we're using financing activities. We have that in place there. So having that set up to account for the foreign currency effect on cash and cash equivalents and restricted cash, we already have that set up in our raw data tab. So we can grab that from the historic financials. We have that in place. We can fill that right. The net cash and cash equivalents. So any increase or decrease in cash, we take the cash from operating activities. Then we deduct any cash used in investing activities and any cash that was used in financing activities. So we have that in place, and also we could also account for the foreign currency effect on cash and cash equivalents and restricted cash. So we